Hey everybody, this is Chris. Today I'm just making some videos, just sharing some of the things that I really like to use with my quads. And today I'm going to introduce just the filters that I use, the filters you'll see in my videos. And I'm not generally a cinematic type video person or videographer on my channel, but that is something I've done more of this year. And been more interested in than normal, and that's because all the quads today are coming out with some amazing cameras, and it's a shame to have those quads and not be able to use them to their capabilities. But it takes a little bit of learning. So if you're not into cameras as far as knowledge, you have a low knowledge, you're kind of a beginner, you gotta kind of take baby steps and learn how to do these things. And that's where I'm at. I'm kind of a mid-level on using the filters and exactly how and where to use the filters, but I really like the Freewell filters. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. This is mainly about the Mavic Air 2 filters from Freewell, but when I first found Freewell, it was for the Parrot Anafi, and the reason I want to bring these up is because it was me that discovered they fit the Hubsan Zino 2, which has a lousy camera lens. Hubsan went real cheap on that, basically just put in a piece of glass, not coated, and it's terrible in the sun. And any quad in the sun is gonna have an effect, but you get complete video destruction out of the lens on that quad. So not having a filter at the time, I went through all my filters that were similar. I found these that I had with my Parrot Anafi and slapped them on. They were a perfect fit, like they were made for that quad. So if you have the Hubsan Zino 2 and you don't know about these, buy the filters from Freewell for the Parrot Anafi. Put them on your Hubsan Zino 2 Pro or Pro Plus. You'll see a huge difference with that. Good filters. So I bought these back then because there just weren't any for the Parrot Anafi that looked like they were a reputable company. Freewell was very reasonable price. They were still on the higher end than the others, but much cheaper than Polar Pro, which Polar Pro didn't even have a filter at that time for the Parrot Anafi, and I'm not sure they do now. So I bought them, tried them out, really liked them, turned out to be good filters, and they had multiple uses. I also use these with a little bit of retrofitting, little bit of rigging. I also use these on my Fimi X8 SE 2020. So the videos that you see me using a CPL filter, I've got some videos using a CPL filter. I think one I'm using an ND8. That's these babies right here. So with a little bit of rigging, you can a little bit of MacGyver, you can make them work for the Fimi X8 SE 2020 as well. Just got to make sure they're on there good and secure, and for one, so they don't come off, but so you don't cause any type of funny video effects like a jello looking effect, which in some of my first video, I think it was, I had excessive jello, and that's because I didn't have that filter fastened well, and that quad kind of creates its own jello in the cold as it is. But I also buy the Freewell filters for my Mavic Pro 2, and I have quite the assortment for my let me get these upside up here, for my DJI Mavic Air. When I discovered that the Parrot Anafi filters fit the Hubsan Zino 2 or the Zino 2 Plus now, they sold out. They completely sold out on this. You couldn't get them anywhere. Everywhere I checked was sold out of them. And I'm not claiming that I'm the cause of that, but I think a lot of people bought them. So then when I got my Mavic Air 2, of course, when I go to look for filters, I went to Freewell, and I also contacted them and got them to send me some. So I have quite a bit now. So I have some of different types. I had like a total of 4 different packages, and then I just took them out of their cases and put them all into 2 cases, so I carry less in my quads case. So I'll start with the small pack, just tell you what I have here. I have your normal UV lens, and then I have an ND 1000 lens right here, and then these are variables. So these are different f-stop ones. It's f-stop or yeah, 2 to 5 and 6 to 9. This is 2 to 5. This is 6 to 9. And then what you do is you adjust them. I don't want to get my whole hand in the way here, but just to show you, they're adjustable, which is where variable comes in. So I haven't done anything with these yet. I'm learning. I'm gonna figure it all out and play with them. And there's the other one, just show you how they dial. So I really can't say anything about those. Right now I'm kind of the go-to of CPL, and I like the ND polarized series. So I go to ND polarized 4, 8, and 16 on average is my most common, and you'll find those ones in this set that I have. These are your 4, 8, and 16 normal CPL or ND filters. And then this one up top is my standard CPL. And then over here we have my ND polarized 4, 8, 16, and 32. So my ND polarized, those are my favorites along with the CPL filter. Those are the ones I use the most. So I have it pretty much covered. There's a few more that I want to get. I want to get a couple more type of filters from Freewell, but go to their website. They have a ton of different filters for the Mavic Air 2 and other quads for that matter. So just wanted to share that with you. I'm a big fan of Freewell. They're affordable. They have gone up in price since I originally purchased them for the Parrot Anafi. I think they've improved the quality of their frames and stuff as well. The packaging has been nicer to where we don't have this little plastic hard to deal with case and foam inside. They went from that to nice plastic magnetic covers, kind of like Polar Pro, but their price has increased on their filters from when I first started using them, but they are still cheaper than Polar Pro, and in my opinion so far they're just as good a quality as Polar Pro. I have Polar Pro for my Hubsan. I have Polar Pro for my DJI Mavic Pro 2, and I have Freewell, and both are very good filters. I think they're equal competitors. You just get the Freewells a little bit cheaper. And that's it. So just sharing it with you. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I make nothing on any of these, on any of the sales. If you should go out and buy them, I just like the company. Just like my cases where I did the video for Drone Pit Stop, I get nothing from that. I love the Drone Pit Stop cases. I love my Freewell filters, so I'm sharing that with you. And those of you who are beginners to mid-level and doing your video with your quads, go check out their website, see if they have filters that will work for you, and do your homework on what filter does work best. But I can say it's safe for you to get a CPL filter and just get you your standard ND 4 through 16 or 4 through 32 and play with those and learn those. Then you can move on up into the other stuff like the variables or the real high ND filters, the long exposure filters and things like that to get really cool effects in your videos. I'm not there yet. So I would say I'm kind of approaching the mid-level. I'm nowhere near the high-end videographer. But just a little announcement, side note, I am starting a group along with some great other guys that's going to be strictly based on that. It's going to be based on drones, but it will be based on beginner to mid-level doing cinematic video, photography, and editing. So, so many people out there really are kind of intimidated, I think, by filters and editing, and think that some of the things that we do in our videos are really hard to do. Once you learn it, it's not hard at all. You just need a good program that makes it easy for you to do. I use, most of all, I use Wondershare Filmora Wondershare. I use that, and I find that very easy. And so in my group with these other gentlemen, that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on everybody helping each other out with stuff like that. So I've been going, the reason I've decided to do this is you go into these groups to learn how to do certain video effects or photography effects, and everybody in there is at a high expert level, and they just don't like to either share their information, or you really have to kind of drag it out of them. So the group I would like to have is where you post a video or pictures or whatever, and you simply put in a little description as to what you did to get that. So, and in a way that everybody can understand, and then also teach some basic video editing. So some of that might end up on my channel, but more so it's going to be a Facebook group. So when that is born or comes to fruition, I will speak more on that and introduce the people that are going to be involved with me in that group, and talk further on that. So as far as this video goes, it's just for the, mainly it should be just for the Freewell filters, and them being my favorite pick for any quad they make, these four that I have, not just the DJI Mavic Air 2. So hit that thumbs up if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe, hit that bell for future content and notification, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love.